gorgeous landscaping, drops his pants, and pees. I have video of it, so I'll post it later. So I was like, is this really happening? He's like, I water the plants, yay! And he's like jumping up and down, and the bellhop was just like, oh my gosh. And Cole said, my husband, he was so funny, he goes, this is why we tip big wherever we go, because you just never know what's going to happen. And that's like my day-to-day life. I pretty much save my 3-year-old son like 7 times a day. You just never know. You never know what's going to happen. So just like the Amazing Race.
It's kids. Could you imagine if they did an Amazing Race with like everyone that has like toddlers? You have to take your kids everywhere around the world. Look, Cash, this is Bangladesh. Don't you love it? Let's play. Like, could you imagine?
Seriously, it would be so difficult. Like, just even going to the grocery store with 2 kids is hard enough. I don't have to travel around the world with them. It would make a great reality TV show. Like,
to say the least. Well, girl, you need to get over to San Diego to come hang out with me, because I went down to Arizona to watch spring training, and I'm gonna tell you, there are some beefcakes down there. Oh, it was muy caliente. I got to go through the locker. Shh, don't tell my husband. We're not gonna talk about it. Well, I haven't even told him all this. I'm like, yeah, babe, let's work. Well, let's really dish here. I'm walking through the locker room, and these guys are, well, hey, Brooke, and they're doing their weights, and they're exercising, and up in the batting cages and the bullpen. I'm like, is this reality? Is this my job? I mean, it was a great time had by all. So you have to come visit me next vacation. We're gonna.
Well, I think as long as I can say I'm working, that's okay with me. I'm fine with that. Where do I sign up? Are you kidding?
It's fun, and I'm really excited for those of you that love football. We have a football player from the Chargers, Brian Matthews. I finally booked him for our show this week, so I'm really excited. And because it's baseball season, I'm going to put him to the test and put him out at Petco Park and make him hit a few balls and see if he can hit balls rather than catch them.
Oh my gosh, Brooke, how do you get yourself into these things? You're hilarious.
It reminds me, I had Mike Pomerantz, who's one of the hosts at Fox Sports with me. He goes, you have one of the most diverse careers I've ever seen in my life. He's like, you like gemology, and then you're a host of reality, and then you do Amazing Race, and now you're a journalist. I mean, Claire and I, we were home shopping hosts together. That was a ride.
That's how we met. And I never, ever would have thought that I would have been home shopping, ever. So I was doing extreme sports. It's like we kind of flip-flopped. Yeah.
Totally.
But, I mean, it was a good gig, though. It was easy. Yeah. It was fun. Good times. Good people.
For sure.
Yeah. So did you get to watch last night?
No. So I was on a plane back from Phoenix. So I want you, we kind of talked about it, but I want you to dish and tell me what you thought. And I was so sad that the YouTube team was loaded. I love them.
I know. And then it's always the taxi cab drivers, I swear. Because they got into a little village, they let their taxi cab go, and then when they got back, they had to walk and wander and try to find a taxi, and it just was not working out. But you just never know. But everybody else, it seemed like right when they got to whatever their challenge was, they were just killing it, besides making the rafts and everything, because of course that was a fiasco for everybody. Everybody had trouble with it pretty much. So yeah, it was interesting to watch. I mean, of course, last week's episode was a tearjerker for Mallory and Mark, but that's the thing that I want our viewers to log in, write down all your questions down below for Mallory about, the backpack situation. And I know a lot of viewers actually ask me this question: is what is in your backpack? What do you guys pack?
Oh, yeah.
So that's another thing too. Like, Brooke, tell them what you had in your backpack.
Oh, yeah. So Claire and I, most people pack enough tennis shoes and, rope and Band-Aids and proper clothing for all
duct tape.
Claire and I wish we saw the picture. Oh, we have to dig it up, Claire, because I remember you sent me those pictures. We have our beds covered in what we like to call Brook and Claire flair. We didn't know what we're getting into. So we have hot pink pants and cute hair ties and flowers.
Curling irons, blow dryers.
Most people
have no idea.
No, most people are putting their tasks together in rickshaws with tape, and Claire and I are just putting a bow and flowers on everything.
And it worked. No, it worked. You got to make do. But literally, Amazing Race producer said to us, you pack anything from a bikini to what you would wear skiing or snowboarding. And I'm like, okay, that is like such an array of things we might need. You never know. So when Mark was saying that he needs to go back and get his backpack, I, for one, would not be able to travel without my backpack. Because I know, remember the hippie couple that was on and they wore one outfit the whole entire time? I would not be able to do that. So I sympathize with Mark.
Well, I'm going to go the other way.
Of course you are.
Because I think that if you really want $1 million, you could buy yourself 1,000,000 backpacks. And furthermore, I'm sure Mallory had a couple pink hot shirts or some tights he could have thrown on. I think it would have been the best television ever. Oh, what's he going to wear in Mallory's this week? It would have been epic television. And I firmly disagree. I say man up, put your big boy pants on, or in this case, your big girl pants on, and let's go run. Just my opinion. I love him.
It was only the second leg of the race. I mean, they had so much more to go.
Claire, I would have put your underoos on. If I lost my bag, I would have worn your underoos to win $1 million. Just saying.
Okay, so we're getting some questions in right now. I just got a text. What would you do differently if you could race again?
Bring more hot clothes. Just kidding.
What would I do differently? Brooke, we've actually talked about this a couple of times.
Yeah.
I think that just getting comfortable with the race. I mean, I guess everybody else thinks that we were really outgoing, but I felt like we kind of held back a little bit.
That's the scary part.
I know. So I think that now that I was more comfortable with the crew and how Amazing Race works and how comfortable I am with the production team, I think I would have been like just a little bit more outgoing and, I don't know, goofier. Maybe that's not a good thing.
Claire, anyone watching right now is shaking their head going, if that was Claire between watermelon in the face, puking over sushi.
Oh yeah, maybe I would do that differently too. I would have not shot myself in the face with the watermelon.
No.
I mean, just throwing that out there.
If that was you at a 5, I don't think America's ready for Brook and Claire at a 10. I think that'd be good. This is coming in from Will. Keep your questions coming. Will's asking, what was the best part? Claire, I'll let you answer that first.
The best part of the whole entire race?
Whole kit and caboodle.
I don't know, each leg. You know, I think the funniest part is Brooke and we got injured, obviously, throughout the whole entire race. Each leg, either Brooke got a new scar or I got a new scar. And so you have like a really elite security team running with you at all times. And they would just say, medical team, run with Brook and Claire. And then this guy goes and runs with this team. So we would be literally running with all these guys with like the medical like backpacks and everything because they never knew. So we were just laughing and running the whole entire time. So I don't know. I just thought it was hilarious how many stupid, clumsy things that we kept doing.
It was literally like helicopter parenting for Brook and Claire. Like these two guys just following us around like, oh God, please don't. Oh, there's a cliff. Oh, they're going to fall. Oh, Jesus. I have to say my favorite part is, you never know the strength, what you're capable of.
I was just going to
say.
I
always say it's not just about the strength of like, oh wow, I can navigate, I can do this. It's seeing strength in your teammate. And so I'd say my favorite part of the race was going, of course, but I mean that. I really do mean that. It's going, I remember the conversations we had before, and then when we first got on play, and every leg of the race, we just look at each other and go, we are so much stronger than we gave each other credit for. And that you don't realize how intelligent, how strong you are until you're truly put to the test. And I think Amazing Race is a perfect platform for that. And that was my favorite part of the race, is just do this.
It is. And you grow so much throughout the whole entire process. It's unbelievable. Sure. And another part, too, is sitting there watching it with your friends and family. Because you're not allowed to tell them a thing. So when they watch it, it's fun to see all their reactions, too. Like, what? You did that? Oh, my gosh. Like, I can't believe you and Brooke didn't kill each other. So, okay, does anyone ever get injured badly? Well, I think we pretty much just summed that one up.
Yeah, I think Claire getting watermelon catapulted in her face and almost having a brain injury or a broken nose. I think that took the cake for injury. I think everyone around the world is going to agree that that was probably the worst injury on Amazing Race history. I'm just saying.
I know. And now it's getting reposted. Somebody posted it on my Facebook the other day. I'm like, when is this ever going to end? Like, is this for real?
No, and then my favorite part, though, is all the tasks you get injured on. I'm just running to get into our car, and I hit the door. I have a scar. I had to go in Sweden to a hospital.
That's right.
Get my eye stitched up, and I still have a scar to this day. Well, by the way, makeup does not go on it. But you know, people get injured just in the most horrific ways in Claire's situation, or just shut a door in your face.
Right. That was awesome. I was like, yes, finally, you got it. But anyways, we're gonna go to a quick break right now, but don't go anywhere because Mallory's coming up and she's chewing at the bit. She's literally like texting me like, I want to come on and chat with you guys. So don't go anywhere, but because we're gonna be back with Mallory and she's gonna give us all the details.
Woohoo!
Good thing we weren't an Amazing Race team.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're all back and we're all on, right? Mallory, you're there?
I'm here.
Okay. So, Brooke, you want to open it up and ask Mallory all of the questions about All-Stars?
Well, first and foremost, I think everybody was just so shocked, Mallory, that you showed up on the field because all the promos, all the Amazing Race advertising, they're showing all these teams, and no one sees Mallory. And then it's like you come out of nowhere to save the day so that, you know...
It's very fancy pants, by the way.
Oh, I love the pants.
Well, thank you very much. Those look like Brook and Claire pants, didn't they?
They were the best pants ever. Are you kidding me?
Well, you had a pair, Brooke, so... my legs were looking a little bit bigger than I'd like them to have looked, but hey, saving the day, there's nothing like saving the day. It's, I mean, anybody, if you got the opportunity to run the race, you know Brook and Claire, you would say, oh my gosh, okay, I'll get on the plane. And that's basically like what I did. So luckily I had those leather pants, or those leopard pants, because I basically had to take what was around me right then. It was so fast.
For sure. Actually, I just had an epiphany when Mallory said leather pants. Ladies, next time, if we ever get to go on again, we still have to rock some leather pants. That would be the best Amazing Race attire ever.
You better be hoping my dad ain't your partner because he ain't gonna let you take no leather.
That's what I was gonna say. I was talking to Claire, Mallory, before you came on the show, and this is hilarious. So I was actually telling Claire how your dad would look, you know, everybody loves Gary. Everybody loves Gary and Mallory together. And
he was our dad. He was like the
Yes.
Amazing Race dad for a season.
And then you guys would look at us and go, oh, these crazies, what are they thinking, packing like this? So Mallory, walk us through your style, and you're very stylish, but you're very serious about how you pack for the race, aren't you?
We're very serious. I mean, our style watching you guys, yeah, we look at you with those huge backpacks and those fancy outfits and the flowers in your hair, but then you go racing by us to the top three, so I really don't think we have anything to say about that. I mean, we were very prepared for very extreme hot and very extreme cold, and I give that all to my dad, because racing the third time, if anything good came from it, it made me realize what an all-star amazing racer my dad is. He's number one. Like, he had like 3 alarm clocks, he had like 6 different kinds of band-aids, he had medicine for like diseases that I don't even think exist anymore in the world. I mean, but that's exactly what you need in the race. You have to be prepared, and he so was, and my new partner wasn't as prepared. But everyone picked me my dad.
Like Brooke and I were talking about is you racing with somebody totally new. What do you think about that? Do you think that you'd be able to race with anybody else but your dad? Like, how was that experience? Because I know for me it would be really hard.
It's really hard. I mean, y'all know because you raced season 17 and you raced to the end, so you know like how hard it gets when it gets hard. I mean, you're starving to death. Like you're
tired.
The whole show. Y'all were about to die. We were about to die. We're sleeping on the ground in Oman. When was it? That was my last leg with y'all. And I mean, you just like trying to make it through. And I know that you guys know, like I do, that the race is all about relationships and communication. And if you don't have that, then you're gonna have to get pretty dang lucky.
Right.
you're going to run into tough times, tough spots where you have to really know what each other's thinking. And, you know, Mark and I had to just talk it out. We had to be like, okay, do you do this kind of challenge? Do you do this? And at that point, for some reason, we had decided we're going to have to figure out our whole racing strategy. We're going to have to figure out how we work together and talk it all through, where we should have just kept racing through it. We should have, I would have left the backpack times 1,000. I would have left 50,000 backpacks, but
yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
We just talked about that before you popped onto the show here. I'm with you. Honestly, if I was with a partner that was a male and I lost my bag, I'd be putting on his t-shirts, his, you know, whatever he had. I'd wear a male's tennis shoes if I had to, just to win that money. And so, walk me through what that felt like in that moment too. It's not right or wrong. Both of you just raced differently. How hard or difficult was it for you coming from your vantage point and then having him as a teammate go, no. I need my bag. I have to have it. Walk us through those moments.
I think you could see my frustration on my face. You and I both know, like, they pick and choose what clips they show, but there was no clip that was going to show that I wanted to go back or was okay with going back for the backpack. At that point in time, I was on a team, and on the race, you can't leave your partner. I thought it was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever heard in my life, you know, needing comfort over wanting to win the race for his family, for Bopper's family, for me who sacrificed and came on the race with him. I just, you know, Brooke, I didn't understand it. And I was so frustrated in that moment. I should have even turned around and said, is your backpack back there? Because, like, that was the moment where I knew, oh shoot, he didn't pick his backpack up when I laid it beside him. But I never in a million years thought he would say, okay, we got to go back. It's like it didn't get through his head, you know? It's 45 minutes back, 45 minutes here. We're going to lose the race over this. And he's like, I got to have my stuff. So, like I said, I think in the race, things on my back don't matter. And, he, you know, anyone can say that it seems like they do, but they don't. So I would have raced in a swimsuit around the world, and I don't look too good in a swimsuit right now, so.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Don't.
And that's too, like, on Amazing Race, there's no time perspective, so I had no idea it was a 45-minute trip back and a 45-minute trip.
Yeah, and it was in traffic, and we were right there, and it was the second leg, and, like, we had so much riding. We weren't only racing, like, in this new situation and getting to go the third time, but we had weight on our shoulders. It's always been nothing to lose, just a great time with my dad. I can't believe they picked us, like, oh my gosh, we're on the Amazing Race every second.
Right.
And this time it was like, okay, I have to get serious about this, and I need to win it. And that was not something I expected to happen with that mentality that I thought was me and him both. And remember, I mean, Claire, like, when you got hit in the face with a watermelon, and when Brooke was standing there,
What?
you knew the other teams were.
What happened?
And the thing, I should have been like Brooke and been like, okay, like, just acting like you didn't just get your head blown up by a watermelon. Like, just gotta keep going. They don't know it's called the Amazing Race for a reason. Like, I should have started those lines, I guess. But I was so flustered and about to get hit by a car. But a watermelon's way worse. But, you know, I mean, what can you do?
No, Mallory, you know, a lot of viewers are emailing and texting Brooke and I right now, and they're saying, Mallory's our hero, and of course you're from Kentucky, and that's kind of why they matched you and Mark up, right?
Right, yeah, it was. And I'd met Mark a couple times before. We met once. We did a commercial for Life of Pi, the movie, and this is the one story that I remember about Mark that made me say, absolutely, I'll give him this chance. Absolutely, I'll race with him. I remember he was having a tough time. He had just lost his job, and we got paid a tiny bit to do this commercial. And he was talking about, gosh, I was standing in the shower. I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. I was so, and listening to this story, it breaks your heart. And then we're walking down the street, going to get some food in Central Park, and he's giving away $20 bills to homeless people on the side of the street. And whether you agree with that or not, but you see that he's a selfless person even when he's in a tough time. And I knew that he needed the money, and I knew that he seemed like a good guy. And my dad, when I said it to my dad, he said, oh my gosh, that's the coolest thing ever. Go. He's like, I'd leave you. I'd go if Big Easy needed me to go. I'd go if Brooke needed me to go. So it wasn't a question. And yeah, our state is important to us. I mean, what kind of state like are people from where they're wearing sweatshirts and like t-shirts and being like, oh, Kentucky, Kentucky, but like we love Kentucky. We're from Kentucky. It's like crazy stuff. But
Speaking of Mallory, when are you gonna take old Brook and Claire to the Kentucky Derby? Can you take that always this year?
Are you kidding me? If my dad's watching this show, I bet you he's gonna be on the internet on his side tab, like booking you a ticket.
We're in. Claire,
my dad loves y'all like the most.
We love him, and oh man, we'd wear the most.
We love his moonshine.
Well, he's sending you the moonshine. You do legal things in Kentucky, but that's also the beauty about Kentucky. Nobody tells on anybody, do they? Till now.
Other question coming in from Duncan. It's Mallory. What one item can you not do without? What's the one item that you have to travel with at all times?
On the race, my dad. Probably.
Oh my God. That's a great answer.
I mean, no one's ever asked me that before. What was his name? You said?
Duncan.
Duncan. Thank you for asking that question. No one's ever asked me that, and like that's the first thing that came to my mind, and I wouldn't have known that had I not had the experience I had this third time, I guess. So before that, I probably would have said my rosary bracelet. But now it's my dad. I'm gonna need him to race for sure.
I think that is a great note to end on, and thank you so much, Mallory, for chatting it up with us. We miss you so much, and
thanks, y'all. I'd love to come back sometime with the video to show you that I'm not like hot out in my house weighing like 600 pounds and just like don't want you to see me on video or something.
Oh my God. You can come with the forklift and bring you out. You got your back,
okay.
Girl. You got your back.
I don't have to bring my backpack. I'm fine. You know, going without a backpack, whatever. I don't carry baggage, so.
Just now, you just need to go to California and stay with me, and we'll get you on the show together.
Oh,
that's fun.
You know that. Every time I come to California, I get to see Brooke. But Claire, you and those babies, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you out of Reno. So, I'll have to come see you.
Save me. I want to go. I want to play with you, girl.
Well, we want to play with the baby. So, but thank y'all very much for having me, and thanks for, like, even keeping me relevant. I can't even believe they picked us the first time, much less 2 and then 3, and y'all are so special to me and to my dad, so this is an honor for me to get to do. And thank you for everybody that's watching and still cheering for me, even though, woo, sometimes you make a mistake.
Shirley, we're always cheering for you, and thank you for being on the show. We appreciate it.
All right, we'll talk to y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't you love, Claire, how whenever I talk to Mallory, all of a sudden I acquire a southern accent. I'm like, oh, I just know, girl. I'm from Portland. I don't have a southern accent.
I know. I don't know why I do that too. I do it with even like people from Europe, and like, how do you say? And they're like, you speak English. What do you mean? How do you say? What are you talking about?
Are you kidding?
Anyway, we have to wrap up our show right now. We're having way too much fun, but I don't want you guys to miss next week. Big show, of course. Another past racer will be on. We'll be talking about past couple episodes. So don't forget to tune in at 7 p.m. at LoadedTV.com. Thanks, Brooke.
Thanks,
Mahalo.
Have fun in Hawaii. Love you, girl.
Love you.